Welcome to Mr. English Daily.
Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to Mr. English Daily, your favorite space to grow your English through real, relaxed, everyday conversations. I'm Luna.
And I'm Leo. And today we are talking about something that doesn't make noise, but makes a huge difference.
We're talking about calm. Not the sleepy kind, not the I don't care kind. We mean the kind of calm that holds itself together when everything around it is falling apart.
But before we get into that, we have to stop and say something from the heart.
Yes. Thank you. Genuinely, deeply, thank you.
Every time you press play, every time you leave a comment, every time you share this with a friend, you are doing something that matters more than you know.
You really are. Because this isn't just a channel to us. It's a community. And every single one of you is a part of it.
We read your comments, we laugh at them, we get inspired by them, and sometimes, I won't lie, we get a little emotional.
More than a little, Leo.
Okay, a lot emotional. Because when you think about it, people from so many different countries, different backgrounds, different life stories, all meeting here in English, that is something special.
It really is. And speaking of comments, we've been seeing one question come up again and again lately.
Yes, so many of you have been asking, is listening alone enough to actually improve my English?
And we want to answer that question right now, clearly and honestly.
Please do not underestimate what listening is doing for your brain.
Seriously, listening is not passive. It is not doing nothing. It is one of the most powerful foundations of language learning.
Every time you listen, your brain is absorbing the rhythm of English,
The music of it.
the way sentences are built,
The way words connect naturally.
the way ideas move from one thought to the next.
And yes, in the beginning, progress can feel invisible. You might think, am I even getting better?
But think about this. Maybe last month everything felt too fast, and now it feels slightly slower, more familiar.
Maybe words that once felt completely foreign now feel like old friends.
Maybe you're guessing the meaning of new words more easily.
That is progress. Real progress.
A lot of people believe that language learning only counts when you open your mouth and speak perfectly.
But that's not how it works. Language enters first, it settles in, it builds a home in your mind, and then, slowly, naturally, it starts coming out.
So if you're showing up, if you're listening, if you're staying consistent with English even on the hard days,
You are building something strong, even if you can't see it yet.
and if you have noticed any progress in your English recently, please share it in the comments. Your story could be exactly the encouragement someone else needs today.
So thank you for learning with us, for trusting us, for growing with us.
And you know what's funny? That connects perfectly to today's topic.
Because real growth, just like real calm, is often very, very quiet.
Luna, we got emotional again.
We always do, Leo.
Okay, let's talk about calm before this intro becomes longer than a history textbook.
Fair. But honestly, this topic deserves a slow start because calm is not loud. Calm is not flashy. Calm does not ask for your attention.
But calm is powerful, and that's exactly why people misunderstand it.
A lot of people look at a calm person and think soft, weak, easy to push around.
When the truth is, calm can mean something completely different. It can mean, I see exactly what this moment is trying to do to me, and I'm choosing not to go with it.
And that is strength.
So today we're exploring why calm gets mistaken for weakness, why it sometimes makes people uncomfortable, and why, in the long run, calm usually wins.
And as always, you'll be learning real, useful English vocabulary naturally throughout the conversation.
This is a B1, B2 episode, so don't stress if you miss a word or two the first time around.
Just relax, listen, let the language come to you.
And toward the end, we'll have our word tour, where we slow down and revisit the strongest vocabulary from the episode.
Now, before we begin, tell us in the comments, do you think calm is something people are born with or something that life builds in you, sometimes the hard way?
Ooh, quiet topic, dangerous question.
Exactly. Okay, let's go.
So why does calm so often get read as weakness?
I think it starts with this. Calm doesn't announce itself. It doesn't walk into the room saying, "Look at me, I have everything under control."
Right, it doesn't perform.
And people are drawn to performance. Loud reactions get noticed first. Big emotions feel like power. So when someone stays quiet and composed, it can look like they're not engaged at all.
And composed, that's a great word here. If someone is composed, they're calm, controlled, and steady, especially when things get tense.
Which sounds easy in theory.
Very easy, until it's 9 p.m. and someone says exactly the wrong thing at exactly the wrong moment.
Extremely specific, Leo.
I believe in realistic examples.
But yes, calm can easily be misread.
And misread is important here. If someone is misread, people understand them incorrectly. They see the surface and make the wrong judgment.
So they look at the calm person and think passive, disengaged, weak, when actually that person may be doing enormous inner work just to stay grounded.
That's the invisible part, isn't it? The part nobody sees.
Exactly, because on the outside, a calm person looks still, but on the inside, they may be choosing every single second not to let the moment take over.
I think of it like a tree with deep roots. You walk past it on a quiet day and think, it's just standing there, nothing special.
But then, the storm comes.
And suddenly, you understand where the strength was.
Yes, because from a distance, stillness can look like nothing, but up close, it's stability, it's foundation. It's something that doesn't move because it doesn't need to move.
And that's exactly why calm gets underestimated so often. It's a quiet kind of strength, and quiet things are easy to judge too quickly.
People assume that if you're not reacting loudly, you must not feel deeply.
When sometimes the calmest person in the room is feeling the most, but carrying it with the most care.
And that takes incredible strength.
It really does. And English learners, you know this feeling too.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes when you speak slowly and carefully in English, people might think you're unsure of yourself.
When really you're just thinking clearly, choosing your words with intention.
So please remember, speaking slowly is not weakness. Sometimes it's the most thoughtful thing you can do.
Now, once calm gets misunderstood, something else interesting happens. It starts to make some people uncomfortable.
Yes, and this is fascinating. Some people feel very confident when they know how to move you emotionally.
If they know which words will trigger you, they feel like they have some kind of control over the situation.
Right. And to provoke someone, to push their emotions deliberately and try to pull out a reaction, that's a real strategy some people use.
And anger is familiar to them. Panic is familiar. Defensiveness is familiar. These reactions tell them the world is working the way they expect.
But when someone stays calm, suddenly the usual playbook stops working.
And that can leave the other person feeling unsettled.
Unsettled. That feeling of being off balance, uncomfortable, not sure what's happening anymore.
Because they were expecting a certain kind of moment, and now the room feels different.
A rough day for chaos.
Chaos arrived with a plan, and the plan just didn't work out.
Exactly. But that really is the point. Calm changes the energy in a room. It takes drama and leaves it standing there alone.
It's like someone throwing something very hard and realizing halfway through that there's nothing to hit. Their own energy just keeps going.
And that's why calm feels powerful without having to do much. It doesn't chase the chaos. It just refuses to feed it.
And that refusal, that quiet, steady refusal, says something louder than any reaction could.
It says, I see what's happening here, and I'm not joining it.
Which can be genuinely confusing for someone who expected a fight, a breakdown, or a dramatic reaction.
And this is true in English conversations, too.
Yes, sometimes people expect English learners to panic when they forget a word or make a small mistake. But when you stay calm, take a breath, maybe smile, and keep going, the whole conversation shifts.
And that calm can make you sound more confident, even before your English becomes perfect.
And that confidence matters beyond the conversation itself, because calm doesn't just protect the room, it protects something inside you.
It protects your clarity.
And clarity means being able to think cleanly, to see the situation for what it really is, not what your emotions are telling you it is in that heated moment.
Pressure makes the mind loud and fast. Everything starts to feel urgent, even things that aren't.
And then people speak too quickly, explain too much, make choices they regret by Tuesday.
Which is exactly why calm helps you stay grounded.
Grounded, centered, stable, not carried away by every wave of feeling that passes through.
I always think of it like weather. When the emotional wind gets strong, it becomes very easy to lose your footing. But if you're grounded, you don't fly away with every feeling.
You can still pause. You can still look around. You can still ask, what actually matters right now?
And that matters so much, because one rushed emotional sentence can create 10 new problems.
Honestly, human beings are remarkably good at turning one emotional moment into a full week of difficulty.
So true. Calm gives your mind a little space before your reaction arrives, and sometimes that small space changes absolutely everything.
That's the real gift of calm, isn't it? It doesn't take the pressure away, it just stops the pressure from taking over your thinking.
It keeps your mind available to you.
And for English learners, this is huge, because when you panic mid-conversation, you often lose words you already know. Your vocabulary didn't disappear.
The pressure just got there first.
So calm protects your English too. It helps you remember, breathe, and keep moving forward instead of freezing.
And once calm protects your clarity, it can protect something else, something equally important.
Your dignity.
Exactly. Because in certain moments, the biggest danger isn't the situation itself. It's who you become inside it.
There are moments where one bad reaction, one moment of losing yourself, can leave you feeling small for a long time afterwards.
And that's where restraint becomes so valuable.
Restraint. Holding yourself back from reacting in a way you'll regret later.
Which is genuinely hard when you feel dismissed or embarrassed or misunderstood.
But if you can hold yourself with care in that moment, you walk away with your dignity intact.
And dignity, that deep sense of self-respect, stays with you long after the moment is over.
I think that is such a beautiful kind of strength, because sometimes dignity is not about winning the argument.
It's about leaving the conversation without losing yourself.
Yes, a loud reaction might feel powerful for 30 seconds. Dignity feels better when you think about it a week later.
Future you is almost never impressed by dramatic behavior.
No, future you is just tired.
Very tired, which is why calm matters. It lets you respond in a way you can actually respect when you look back.
Now, and this is important, we need to make a clear distinction here.
Because calm is not the same thing as shutting down emotionally.
Not at all. Real calm still feels, it still notices, it still cares deeply.
It just doesn't hand the wheel over to the emotion.
And that is very different from suppression.
Right. Suppression is when you push feelings down, bury them, instead of dealing with them honestly.
It might look calm on the outside,
But inside, everything is stacking up, building pressure in a place you can't see.
a terrible emotional storage strategy.
The worst architecture. And then there's numbness.
If someone feels numb, they feel emotionally cut off, like they're no longer really connected to what's happening inside them.
And that is not calm. That is disconnection.
Calm is presence. Numbness is absence. That difference matters enormously.
Because real calm can still say, that hurt me. It can still set a boundary. It can still speak up.
Without turning into chaos.
We are not celebrating emotional walls here. We're talking about emotional steadiness, not emotional disappearance.
And English learners, this applies to you too.
Speaking calmly in English doesn't mean pretending you're not nervous.
It means speaking even while you are nervous,
You don't shut down. You stay present. You keep going.
which honestly is one of the bravest things a language learner can do.
And I think this next part is one of the deepest things we'll say today.
Yes, because many calm people were not born calm.
Many became resilient through experience.
And resilient, that means the ability to recover, adapt, and keep moving forward after difficulty.
Many calm people you admire were once much more reactive.
Life just showed them, clearly, sometimes painfully, what chaos costs.
Regret teaches fast. So does heartbreak. So does the exhaustion of cleaning up your own reactions again and again.
At a certain point, people simply get tired.
Tired of overreacting. Tired of replaying the same emotional storms. Tired of handling difficult moments so much power.
And then something shifts. Peace starts to look more attractive than performance.
And the calm they find, it doesn't feel fake.
It feels earned.
It has history in it. It has experience in it.
Some of the calmest people you'll ever meet are calm because life has already shaken them, thoroughly.
And now they know exactly what they no longer want to be.
That's being seasoned.
Yes, seasoned, shaped, and made wiser by experience. Not hardened, not bitter, just deeper.
And this is so true for English learners as well. Many confident English speakers are calm now because they've already survived the awkward silences, the wrong words, the embarrassing moments.
They became resilient through practice, not through comfort.
So if English still feels messy sometimes, that's not failure. That might be exactly how you're getting stronger.
So the real question becomes, how do you actually build calm without becoming cold?
Because that balance matters a lot.
I think it starts with self-regulation.
Self-regulation, managing your own emotional reactions in a healthy way instead of letting them drive.
Which sounds completely reasonable until a real moment arrives and your nervous system has very different plans. Always.
But there are small, real ways to build it. Pause before you reply. Breathe before you answer. Notice what your body is doing in that moment.
Don't offer the world your very first emotional reaction every single time.
And ask yourself, what does this moment actually need from me, not just what do I feel like doing right now?
That question changes so much.
Because the goal isn't to become cold, it's to become steady.
Steady, emotionally stable and reliable even when everything around you feels uncertain.
I love that word. Steady feels warm, not frozen, not closed off, just stable.
Like a glass of water sitting on a table. The room might shake a little, but the water doesn't spill everywhere.
And becoming calmer doesn't make you less human.
It makes you more trustworthy to yourself and to the people around you.
That's the real goal. Not to become unreachable, not to become emotionless, just to become someone who can stay with themselves even in difficult moments.
And that kind of calm really does win.
Not always quickly,
But deeply.
and for a very long time.
And in English, the same thing applies. The goal isn't perfection overnight, it's to become steady enough that mistakes no longer knock you out of yourself.
Calm English isn't perfect English.
It's confident, growing, steady English.
And honestly, that leaves a stronger impression than anything else.
Because people may forget your exact words, but they always remember the energy you carried. Word tour. All right, let's slow down and spend some time with the vocabulary from today. These are powerful words that can help you talk about emotions, pressure, and inner strength much more clearly.
Let's begin.
Composed.
If someone is composed, they are calm, controlled, and steady, especially in a difficult moment. Even when the conversation became tense, she remained composed. He looked composed on the outside, but he was working hard inside.
Repeat. Composed.
Composed.
Misread.
If someone is misread, people understand them incorrectly. They judge the surface without seeing the truth.
His calm nature was often misread as indifference. She was quiet, but people misread her silence as weakness.
Repeat. Misread.
Misread. Provoke.
To provoke someone means to push them emotionally, to deliberately try to pull out a reaction.
He kept making sharp comments to provoke her. Some people provoke others because it gives them a sense of control.
Repeat. Provoke.
Provoke.
Unsettled.
If someone feels unsettled, they feel uncomfortable, off balance, or emotionally shaken.
Her calm response left him feeling unsettled. He felt unsettled after the unexpected conversation.
Repeat. Unsettled.
Unsettled.
Restraint.
Restraints means controlling yourself, holding back from reacting in a way you might regret.
His restraint kept the conversation from becoming a fight. It took real restraint not to respond in anger.
Repeat. Restraint.
Restraint. Suppression.
Suppression means pushing your emotions down instead of dealing with them honestly.
Suppression might look like calm, but it isn't peace. Years of suppression made it difficult for her to express herself.
Repeat. Suppression.
Suppression. Numb.
If someone feels numb, they feel emotionally disconnected, like they can no longer really feel what's happening.
After months of stress, he felt numb rather than calm. She looked still, but inside, she just felt numb.
Repeat. Numb.
Numb.
Resilient.
If someone is resilient, they can recover, adapt, and keep going after difficulty.
Over time, hard experiences made her more resilient. Resilient people still feel pain, they just don't stay broken by it.
Repeat. Resilient.
Resilient.
Seasoned.
If someone is seasoned, they've been shaped by experience and become wiser because of it.
He had a seasoned calm that came from a real life. She sounded seasoned, not because things were easy, but because she had learned.
Repeat. Seasoned.
Seasoned.
Self-regulation.
Self-regulation means managing your emotional reactions in a healthy, intentional way. Breathing before replying is one form of self-regulation. Strong self-regulation helps you stay calm even under real pressure.
Repeat. Self-regulation.
Self-regulation. Those were strong words today, Leo.
They really were, and they fit this episode perfectly because they help you talk about calm not just as a feeling, but as a practice, a choice, a skill.
Not the calm people pretend to have.
The calm people actually build.
And that's what today was really about.
Not pretending life doesn't affect you.
But learning to stay with yourself even when life gets loud.
That kind of calm isn't cold.
It's strong, it's steady, and it is deeply, completely human.
So if this episode stayed with you today, we hope it gave you something useful.
In your English.
In your confidence.
And maybe in the way you carry yourself through difficult moments.
Take care of your English.
And take care of your heart.
I'm Leo.
And I'm Luna.
And this has been Mr. English Daily.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.